Oh my goodness. I have such an incredible and amazing guest today. A transformation executive who is a global executive. And boy, I tell you, she is blazing trails, paving the way, doing so much to help our next generation. She's simply not only an incredible individual, an amazing person, but a role model to so many. And I absolutely follow you. I'm like such a big fan. And to have her here today is so exciting. Hi, T.
Hi, Trees. You made me excited. Thank you so much for a beautiful introduction. Thank you so much.
I'm so glad to
So
see
good to
you.
see
Oh,
you.
my goodness.
Yes,
Thank
definitely.
you
Absolutely.
for all that you do to empower so many of us. You're incredible.
Thanks for having me.
Incredible. Now, your career has been amazing. You have tech startup. You had a company that did amazing things. I mean, you flew gifts all over the world. I mean, these innovations that you birth and bring to life. You had a consulting company. You work for the largest tech companies in the world. Oh my goodness. So, talk to us about your career trajectory and just empowering so many women to go out and be great.
Well, you definitely brought some things to my mind, things that we don't always kind of double click on, right? We go on to the next thing. So thank you for the refresh on the different things. And I think, yes, it's definitely been about innovation. And I think one of the things I get asked about a lot is kind of like what got you there. And I always tell people there's not a silver bullet, right? There's not this one thing that gets you there. It's a series of conscious decisions and choices, right? And I'm careful to not say sacrifices. It really is about choices, right? And for me, it's been about those choices that have helped me to reinvent and invest in myself. And so for me, that's what's been really that grounding factor. But I also think that I have to recognize, and it's very important to me, that I'm constantly evolving and growing, right? And so who I am today is a little bit different than who I was yesterday. You've heard me say before that, the career that I have is a series of jobs and roles that had not been invented when I thought them up, right? And again, that was about reinventing and investing in myself. And
That was my favorite title. And it manifested.
right.
I remember when you were, talking about Chief Transformation Officer
Right.
years ago,
Right.
before the title even came.
Right.
Now, look
It's
at
a
you.
thing. It's a real thing.
You are a transformation executive and officer. That's
Yeah.
just a large and amazing, incredible company.
Right.
You
It's
speak
crazy.
these things.
Right. And I think we have to. I think we have to continue to think about what is the value that I'm bringing to the table outside of, this degree or these certifications. I don't rest on those laurels, right? I am grateful for the degrees and the certifications and the experiences that I've had. But my mind is always on what am I doing with those things to create value, right? And so what am I doing to evolve people and our customers and the different people that are investing in us? And that's really important to me. And I also think that, one of my favorite quotes is that success is where preparation meets opportunity, right? And so I'm not waiting for someone to tell me to take a class or to start a team or to do a pilot. I'm doing those things in full faith that there's going to be value produced in it, whether it is, the end goal is the final product that was originally thought up, or if it was just the experience. And so I think in that way, I've positioned myself to be, seen as an innovation leader and a strategist that's not afraid to take, leaps and make these changes in people and in organizations and just to go for it. And so I think that's what's really been the game changer for me.
What I want to know from you, what is the importance of being able to tell your own narrative,
Oh gosh.
your own story, and not let others represent that for you?
Right. I think that people don't recognize all the time, and something that I've learned more over time is that your brand is being built whether you are investing in it or not, right? And so sometimes you luck up and you have people telling the positive side of the story, and other times not so much. But what we have to remember is that we're curating our brand in every interaction. And so how we show up initially and how we show up repeatedly is a part of how we're building our brand, right? And we have to be very conscious about that. And not just because we want to make a move, but because that is what follows us forever. And so we want to have strong brands. And it doesn't mean that you're not adding dimensions to that brand, right? Over time, we want to add positive dimensions to the brand, but we have to be conscious about how we're showing up in every interaction and being consistent in that, every day. It's about putting in the work. And for me, that is how you tell your story, right? And that's how you even more so get other people to tell your story.
Oh, T, that's power.
Yeah.
That's power.
Yeah.
Yes. Owning your own narrative.
Right.
And really being able to immerse yourself
Right.
in who you are.
Right.
And then being able to storytell in compelling ways.
Right.
Right? Final thing from you. Look at what you've accomplished. And you have a family. 2 beautiful little girls. An amazing and incredible best friend and your husband, right?
Yes.
And you all are just doing amazing things together. You're out doing community service together.
Yeah.
I mean, your family is not just about what goes on in the home.
Right.
You all have a very external presence. If you could think about all of the things that you go through in your moments, 2 pieces of advice that have sustained you, what could you tell us? What does that look like?
Well, I'm going to cheat a little bit because these are kind of all mixed together. But I'll say that, I think this myth of this balance, I find myself out of balance a little bit. Sometimes it's a little bit more work, and sometimes it needs to be a little bit more family, or, whatever that mixture is. But I do feel what I have done much better over time is to be more integrated and be more consistent in who I am at work and at home, and to be driven by purpose, right? So that what I get to do outside of work is consistent with what I get to do inside those walls, right? And that's really important to me. I also think, and you got to be driven by something other than the spoils, by something other than yourself. And so figuring out where you're connecting to and what the legacy you want to live is very important. And, lastly, I'll say that just be big. And don't be afraid to be big. That's something that I believe wholeheartedly in, and that I've even had to step into more and to say, you don't have to shrink for anybody else, right? You can be big and you can be humble still. And so those are the pieces of advice I'd leave on.
Wow. Yeah. Wow. Everyone listen. Where can they follow you?
At T. Canady Barton on all the channels, TCANADY Barton on Instagram, LinkedIn, and now TikTok.
Woo! You're on TikTok?
Right.
Oh
I don't know.
I love this. I'm so excited. Well, we cannot wait. We will be following you, so make sure you all do that today. And we are grateful to have you here. Thank you so much. Disrupt you. I know that that's something, and I know we may have just a couple more seconds, and if you could just help us understand what disrupt you means to you. Just give us a quick snippet of what that means to you.
I've said this before, that you got to disrupt yourself before anybody else does. And so you have to be in this constant state of disruption, right? And you have to be willing to change it up and make that, my word, existential flex. Right? How are you pulling that out so that you can get to your next level? Sometimes you got to blow it all up to build something better.
Come on, tell me.
Existential flex.
You know me and my words.
Existential flex is one of my favorite things, and I got it from a book that I'm reading. And so it's about the existential flex.
I'm so proud of you.
Thank you.
Thank you for stopping by today.
Thank you for having me.
Hanging out with us all day today.
Yes,
yeah,
for sure.
It's been a pleasure. Well, everyone, we are so grateful to have this powerhouse with us. We're going to continue to follow her and all the great things she's accomplishing across so many different communities around the world. So, more to come. We are grateful and thankful that all of you continue to go through this journey to disrupt and reinvent yourselves so that we can shape a new future together. Until next time, thank you.